Hi students. So now we will be solving this particular problem. Okay. So the problem goes as integration of x cubed sine of x to the power 4 dx. Now in order to be able to do these kinds of problems, you have to follow a simple trick and then the problem will get easily solved. Okay. So what is the trick here is that first you have to replace any one of these two by a variable. All right, and now why will I do that? So that the integration problem which is presented to you becomes a bit more simplified. It is literally impossible to solve this integration as a whole if we do not follow this particular trick. Okay, so what we will be doing here is that we will say let x to the power 4 equal to t. Considering x to the power 4 equal to t, if we take the derivative of this, then what we will be getting? We will be getting 4x cube dx equal to dt. This is a very basic derivative formula that I have applied here. This is the x to the power n formula simply, okay, where the derivative of x to the power n is nothing but nx to the power n minus 1 into dx. Okay, that is what I have done here. And now what I have to do is I have to simply replace. Now let me first bring it into a bit better form. All right, so this becomes nothing but 1 by 4 dt. All right, so now what we will do next, we have this, right? So in the place of x to the power 4 we will write this t, and in the place of x cube dx, right, this is x cube dx, in the place of in the place of x to the power x cube dx, we will replace that by 1 by 4 dt. So how will that ultimately look? Let's see. Therefore what we will be doing here, we can write this particular integration. I am breaking this so much because this is one of our first problems. Okay, from later on we will try to solve it directly. Okay, we will not break into so many different forms. All right, so what I told you that replace this x to the power 4 by t, right? So in that case what do we get? We get sine of t. In the place of x cube dx, what we will replace it by? 1 by 4 comes outside and there will be a dt. Clear? Now as we come here, you can easily see that we have almost reached to the end of the problem, right? Integration of sine t is what? Nothing but minus cos t, right? So we will just be doing that, minus of cos t plus c, right? The only difference being that here, finally, after coming to this step, most students conclude the problem, okay? Definitely by mistake, okay? What do? Is they forget to replace this t. You have to replace this t by x to the power 4, right? Because that was our original expression, okay? So finally, what we will be getting is nothing but minus 1 by 4 cos of x to the power 4 plus c. All right, so I hope this was a very easy problem for you to solve. All right, now we will move on to the next particular question, which is also very easy. Okay, now you might think, how shall you replace? Which one should you take as variable? Okay, that is essentially based on practice and a bit of visualization. Okay, so here for example, if you take say sin x as t, all right, if I take sin x as t here, then after like taking the derivative we will get cos x dx equal to dt. Then here we will replace sin x by t and cos x dx by dt. Simple. So ultimately what we will be getting? Cosec square t into dt. This is the simplest form we will be getting. Means this particular question is easier than the previous question, okay? So what did I tell you? Let me write it in words roughly. You'll be doing nothing, but you'll be considering that let sin x equal to t here. So if sin x equal to t, then cos x dx is nothing but dt. If cos x dx is dt, then we will replace this by dt, this by t. Then ultimately what we will be getting here, we will be getting nothing but cosec square t into dt. Why t? Because in place of sin x we have put t. And why dt? Because in place of cos x dx we have replaced by dt, in place of sin x we have replaced by t. Okay, I have explained too much actually. So now let's move ahead. Now there is nothing here. Simply what we will do is we will just integrate it, and we know that the integration is nothing but minus cot of t plus c. And I also told you that ultimately your job is to replace this t, because t is something which we did take for our in order to simplify the entire thing, but we cannot do that. In the end we have to replace t by cot of sin x, right? Minus cot of sin x plus c, because sin x was our t, right? So we replaced t by sin x here. So this was our second problem from this. Now let's move on to a third problem, which is essentially from one of the board exams. Okay, it is nothing but dx. Okay, dx divided by x cos square 1 plus log of x. Okay, so how shall I solve this particular problem? Which particular part of this problem we will be considering as our variable, and then we will be taking derivative, and then we will do the respective processes. So which one part we are going to consider here? So let's take this 1 plus log x as t. If I put 1 plus log x as t, then what will I be getting here? I'll get 0 plus log x is nothing but 1 by x dx equal to dt. So you can see that we can replace, this is 1 by x here, right, and dx by simply a dt, and this cos square will remain as cos square, but this part will be replaced by t. So ultimately we will be left with integration of 1 by cos square t into dt. Okay, and then we will take, say, okay, let me do it, then it will be easier for you to understand. So what I'll be doing here, 1 by x dx, simply replace it by dt, and in the denominator we have cos square. This part, right, this particular part will be replaced by t. So ultimately what we will be having here, we will do sec square t dt, right? 1 by cos square t we can write as sec square t, basics of trigonometry. Okay, now as soon as we reach here, what next? Just simply integrating the problem. We know that integration of sec square theta or x whatever is nothing but tan theta or tan x whatever, okay, whatever angle is given. So here we will be having tan t plus c. The last task which I always told you never to forget, what is it? That is to replace this t which we have taken as 1 plus log x. So ultimately what we will be getting, tan of 1 plus log x plus c. Alright, now we will be solving many more problems on this particular concept, okay, that I started in this particular video. Okay, so if you did like whatever I did teach, then please do like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell icon, okay, for more of such exciting content. And all of these numericals that I am doing is for you. This channel is actually dedicated to all of you students, okay, for the betterment of your conditions and for fetching something really high in life. All right, so let's move on to the next video.